All right, you guys. I got the wrong focus on. All right, that looks better. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my Wednesday Night Live. I'm Jill Blanchette. Um, I always say Green Thumb Stampers. That's my team name. I really messed up when I did that when I thought I was doing the right thing, but that's kind of like my team name, but it's also what I end up going by. So I've started, I got my little house out in the driveway that I call Greenhouse Greetings. And then I got my cards, my business cards, things that say GTS Creations for Green Thumb Stampers Creation. So I'm all over the board, but it it's too late to go back now. So I just have to I'll reinvent myself every couple days with a new name. But welcome to my Wednesday live. I've got some boho vibes cards to show you tonight, and then a couple other samples that I created this afternoon. That aren't boho vibes, but they're really awesome. Um, and I'm calling them stepped up because they're stepped up to me from the way that I have ever made a fractured card. So in that sense, they're stepped up for me and hopefully for you. Hopefully you will say, "Oh, I didn't think of doing that." Who's on? Amanda's on. Hey, Amanda, probably knitting another hat, crocheting another hat. You're on a hat frenzy. Vesta's on. Hey, Vesta. Good. You could see me and hear me. And Holly's on already. Welcome, welcome, ladies. And so I'm just gonna I guess I'll get started. I'm trying to think. Do we have anything special to share? Oh, in my newsletter today, I did state to those of you that haven't ordered, I think in a couple years from Stampin' Up, but you have in the past, you may see an email come out from them. It's it's legit. It's just they're trying to I gotta take my sweatshirt off. It's a little warm today. Um, it's hot here, but it must be the lights again. Anyway, um, it is their way of, I guess, reaching out and trying to find out who's still interested in stamping and maybe to help get us demonstrators a new customer or two by um, having, if somebody wants to order, because they're going to send a coupon of some sort or coupon of some sort. And they didn't really say what it was, but keep your eyes open for it. So if you want to confirm, you're going to have to do stuff. If you want to confirm your email or whatever couple steps they're asking for, if you do that, then I think they'll mail you the coupon. And I'm assuming it's an extra percentage off or something like that. I don't know. Free shipping. I don't have any idea. They didn't say what it was. I'm just guessing it'll be a little something like that. So as a thank you for your filling out and confirming your email address and stuff. Sweet sale still on, and it's a SUITE, not a sweet, like tasty, sugary, yummy thing. Those of you that got my newsletter, you did see my sweet, tasty, lovely, yummy thing that my mom made me for my birthday. I got the triple layered German chocolate, homemade with love from Mom Cake, and I ate so much of it, but I was down a pound 0.2 today at Weight Watchers. So it must have sparked something in there to kicked off some weight loss thing, but can't count on that happening over and over. So we're back on track. We're doing good. But it was just very worrisome to go there today and find out Mike lost too. So yay. Again, I think that's it. We got the sweet sale. Demo's got a pre-order, so don't forget demos pre-order. There's at least 2 new suites in the pre-order that you can order. There's a pretty pear one. The paper looks gorgeous. And then another one that will go with the paper pumpkin. If you're not a demo, great time to sign up. You will also get the sweet sale and can get your discount on top of that. I'm going to turn down. Oh. I got to show you. We got last week's card. We got Betty Bach as our winner. I will get that in the mail. So Betty won the, I think it was my easel card we did last week. So that will be coming in the mail. And let me turn down now. We will get ready for Janice and Julie. Oh, Betty's on too. Yay, Betty, you won. Woo, Debbie Green's on. Linda's up. Linda, what are you doing? Oh, because your car's in the shop. Okay, I was going to say you weren't going to be around on Wednesdays. Yay, thanks for the car being in the shop, but no, sorry, your car's in the shop because that stinks. That costs a lot of money when cars go in the shop. Mike's car went in the shop. Let me see if I can talk and do something. Mike's car went in the shop a couple weeks ago. Reed had it because she sold her car before she moved, and some lights came on and whatever, and that was like a couple $1,000s that cost us. It was crazy, but yeah, car repairs are not good. So here's the card we're gonna make, guys. Here, I got a couple of them, and yes, it looks like I stamped this or I put it on crooked or something. So I don't know what. Let's see, can I turn it like that? No, it looks straight. So let me turn it like that. Okay, so here's our first card. And you guys remember these cards with the strips, these fractured cards. Well, this, like I say, is where I'm calling it stepped up because I'm changing up the strips. I've got this embossed on this one and, or not embossed, I got it cut out. So let's get going because I will have to cut that out. And I will tell you, see if I can think and talk at the same time. I looked up a variety of like videos on this while I said, oh, this is what I want to do. And they've made it a little more complicated than what I thought it should be. So I'm just going to kind of do my own thing, but I will tell you as we go. So I stamped the envelope on this one. I'll kind of give you a little heads up as I go along what other tricks and tips that I picked up from a couple videos that I saw because I just was looking to see if there was any rhyme or reason to the paper that went on. And, you know, so, sort of kind of there was a little bit. And one lady, she had to use a 6x6 piece of paper, and that was how I made mine. And it just seemed like a lot of waste. So here I've got just a strip I'm going to put on the inside. It was a lot of waste. And so I didn't want to share that information on my card making because to me, I didn't want you to waste that much paper. So rather than hers was quick and easy, yes, that was her whole premise. It was quick and easy, but the paper hanging off the sides so that you could just slap, 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 and then cut it off, it wasn't a good use of paper to me. So I will show you kind of as we go what she did. And the other lady that I got some of the stepped up ideas from. So this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I got just a little, I think my little strip that wasn't going to move. I think my little strip is 3/8 of an inch. Let me see. Doesn't matter. 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, mine's 3/8. You can go half. Use whatever paper pieces you got left over. So I'm going to do that, which I should have not have done because I did stamp on the inside, I think. Oh no, that was the next card. Let me see. Nope, I didn't stamp on the inside. It's just a piece of paper. So good. All right. So again, the other gal had started with a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of the same color as her base, but you could use white. And actually, I think she may have loaded it on white, but the other girl that I saw, she had another piece underneath that was the same color. So this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 because this die, let me see, maybe we can I used the largest die in the textured notes. Let me see if I can I could cut that a little skinnier and that would help. That would help me when it comes to, so let's just put that in there. We're gonna cut a little bit. It'll help me when it comes to the whole, placement of this die in the center, piece. So I'll show you. So now, if you want to get this technical, I'll show you, but you don't have to do this. But one gal came in at 3/4 of an inch from either end and scored. Then she turned it at a 1/2 an inch. She scored. She turned it around and scored the other side at a 1/2 an inch. And we're going to build on this piece, so the score lines aren't going to show. The reason that they did that was because we have a 2 1/4 inch square. And she laid the point right on that 3/4 of an inch line and then used these side pieces to help her know where that she was like centered and straight by putting the points on the line. You can just eyeball it, because maybe you don't want all your fractured cards. Maybe you want to go like down here and have more paper. So the way that I've done it in class and such, we just glued this anywhere we wanted it. So that was my way of doing these. Like I said, her way, she's got these score lines, to help her to know where to put it. I think that might just be an extra step. We can crank through these babies a little bit faster if we don't fiddle with that. So my thinking is put it where you want it and then kind of use your glass mat or something to look at the lines and see if you're where you're at in sync with your lines. So I don't know. I think I just moved it, but now it's stuck. It's not going to be down there. So I'm going to leave that right there. Then, now you'll see this card. I have a really wide fractured piece. So that is, oh, I got hold of my paper. That is a 1/2 an inch, and this other one is 3/8 of an inch, or did I go to 1/4? So we got a 1/2 of an inch and a 1/4 of an inch. And when I got this card all done, I thought that might be a little bit too wide. So I did dumb it down for this one. And this one is, okay, I think this one is 3/8. So yeah, my secret C is 3/8. Okay. And then if you haven't made one of these, what you do is you take the strip and you line it right up to the point of your, like this white piece that you put down, your little focal point. Okay, and I'm gonna cut it off. She left everything hanging. She measured all hers accordingly and left them hanging. We're not leaving them hanging all the time. We're going to just keep moving and save on our paper. Less scraps. So then we're going to turn it. Let's see. It'll go this way. Let's see. Yeah, we got enough. We're going to go this way. So we're going to just turn it. And this little scrap will fit on this side. So now we're going to line it up with the focal square. And then we're going to turn it again. Put some glue on it. We're going to come off and go all the way. This is a long one, so we're going to go all the way to the edge. We'll cut. But you can certainly wait too if you have more strips and you don't like that one I used because I got 2 of them out of it. If you want to just let it go, let it go. Or if you want to cut them, you can also put the glue right on there. So I'm going to stick that right up against our focal square that we've got on point, I guess Julie would call it. It's like a the diamond. It's on points are up in the air. Okay. So now we're getting this guy started. Then I have some Cajun Craze. And we're going to just glue this one over the top. So now this one is 1/8 of an inch wide. And we're going to build on it. Now the lady that I saw that had this really pretty design like this, she used some type of a strip. It's another company. I don't know what, Lizzie strip or something she might have called it. And I'm assuming that it was like a sticker. And it had this, it was 2-tone. So it had kind of like Stampin' Up! Has some metal, gold edged ribbons and stuff sometimes. It was like that. So, it just looked really cool. And so I figured I could make that with my, this one might fit right here. I could make that with my strips. Oh, phooey, it's not gonna fit there. I'll come over here. And so I'm just layering like this to give it a same look as hers, but my own look. All right, and so I'm only going up to the edge as well, so that each of these looks individual. I'm not putting this the Cajun Craze up against the other one. We're stopping right there. Oh, what? That's my cat. She did. Oh, she did that the other day, and she threw up. She threw up. I think she's licking her lips. I think she must have a upset. Please don't throw up on my video. That would just be gross. It's bad enough she's yelling like that, and I can't help her because I got you guys. I don't know. Yep, there she goes. All right, well, that's good. She's containing it too. Ugh. Oh, poor baby. All right, so now that she's gonna feel better, hopefully she'll get down off the place she's at. All right, so now we have our strips built. And I just thought that that looked really cool to have those 2 layers on there like that. Then the first gal I watched, I think it was Connie Stewart. She used a 6x6. And of course, I had design on each side, and she liked what was on each side. But I wanted to shake it up a little bit. So she cut it at 2 1/4 inches. And then she cut this one at 2 and 4. And so she had like, it went this way. I think she had the 2-inch, the 4-inch, and then her other pattern came over here. I wanted to shake it up a little bit. I want to put this pattern over here, but I'm going to show you guys that if you don't want the waist and you don't care about all the, having all the exact measurements and stuff, just lay it down. Just lay it down and glue it on like so. Flip it over, use your trimmer, use your scissors, and do whatever you got to do and just cut it off. Trimmer is going to make a more precise cut. I do know that. I've cut in too close a couple of times, but we've got that one for the corner. And so this one, like I said, if you wanted to follow, she had a 2-inch and a 4-inch, but again, we're not doing that. We're making our own. So now this other pattern, we want to come down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and if you wanted to get, like I say, precise, you can line that up however you want to line it up. Oh, that's right. It went that way. It would fit that way, but I got that, cut that one too far. So let's go here. Oh, it's still not going to fit. So I cut it too far. So I'm just going to go ahead. We'll put some glue down here. Put them opposite. Have you guys all made these fractured cards before? They were a big thing for, a hot minute. And this one, if you are pattern conscious, I got like the pattern going this way. So maybe if you were me, you'd put the pattern going this way. So I'll do that just for some people that it'll bother them if I don't keep it going the same direction. But you put it on however your paper fits. That's what I'm telling you to do, sister. You save on that paper or paper hoarders. This is a good way to use up some of your designer series paper. But in the end, we don't just want to waste it. So we want to maximize it. See, I got all this piece left we can do something with. Then I have this piece over here. So then she had, what was left was 3 3/4 of her 6x6. And then she cut it at 3 inches. So she had a 3-inch and a 3-inch. And you don't need that much, especially for up here. So again, I just came in and I laid it down. And I want some color, so I'm gonna just move it around. And that's the beauty of not being precise with, oh, I'm gonna cut this 6x6 to this size. I can now move this around and put it down there wherever it fits, so whatever kind of scraps you got, they'll fit on there. And like I said, I wanted to change these around this time because let me show you. I just didn't think I had enough of this pattern showing. It just wasn't enough there. And that one, I cut her measurements. And that's when I said, nah, too much waste. And so now I got, a little bit bigger section showing. And I can come in here, I can cut this. Not really, I can't cut that down. I got to get that off to the side. Because I really want a bunch of the color in there, but I'm going to go up here. We'll come up here. And I'll just put it in there like that because that looks good. Now this one might not be lined up with the same direction as the other one. And I learned from this one, once I cut it, I wanted to make sure I had enough glue holding the paper on for when I cut it. It stayed glued together. So. Again, we can come in here with our trimmer, trim off our pieces. Oh, and I just messed that up. You see, this is why. It's too wide. Let's try it. We'll have to even it up now. See how bad of a mess we made of it. So, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to cut it off with the die anyway, right? So now I'm going to put it through my stamp cut and emboss like this. Give me a hot second and I'll be right back. So we're gonna lose a bunch of our perimeter. But I don't know if you can hear me. We're gonna lose some of our perimeter, but not too shabby. You just want to try and center it on there so you don't lose too much. And where I just moved my, and where I just moved the die to, hopefully it's gonna stay centered. This is why I usually try and do these steps ahead of time, but this one I couldn't. All right. I went through there twice. Hopefully it's enough to cut through that. It was yesterday, does not appear to be enough today. So we'll just cut it with our scissors and it'll cut it off where it needs, didn't go all the way through. Most of it came off. When I'm going through this much layers, it sometimes will require you to go back and forth several times. I only went back and forth. All right, so there's our piece now. After we cut it. And that's why I'm calling it stepped up, because it's got a little more action going on with it than what I've done in the past on them. There's our bottom. Let me get this glued on. Oh, I got a mess on that one too. Maybe I got something on my plate. Whoops, look at this. This cut's skinnier than it does top to bottom. So hopefully that's on there straight. Looks crooked. Should have straight cuts. So we're going to leave it like that. I think it's on. All right. Then if you wanted, you could stamp right on this if you wanted. But I've got a 2-inch piece. But you could also shake up the color if you wanted a different color down here. It does not have to be white. Or if you want a different color for the top. So I'm gonna try and put that point up and down. And then I showed you that die. So now I'm gonna use the Sunshine Vibes stamp set. And this is from the Boho Vibes bundle. And so there are Sunshine Vibes. It's not Boho. Yeah, it is. Sunshine Vibes bundle, Boho Vibes, I guess sweet, maybe. And this fell off. So it makes a lot of like rainbows. And so this will cut out your rainbow solid. This one will cut out all of the layers, which might be, these might go right in there. I didn't try it, so I'm not positive if these are like 1 for 1. I did see in the catalog where they used this one that cuts all the layers out, and then they did stick these others in there in the holes. But again, whether or not they line up exact or if it's just how it looks, I didn't try that yet. But this is all the dies, so I used them on the next card. So for now, I just use the Sunshine Vibes on my little triangle there, or diamond shape. Doesn't look like I cut that right. But anyway, I'm going to use the Sunburst in Daffodil. That's one of the colors in that paper. Oh, I didn't show you guys a cool paper. The paper's really cool. It's called Boho Vibes. It's a 6x6 pack, and it's just these very nice, deeper tones. I like that one. Kind of goes with one of the dies, but the backs are all a pattern, and then the front is, well, I guess both sides are patterns, but it's a solid, whereas the front's got more colors going on. So that's the pack of paper. I like it a lot. And so we're going to bring the Sunburst in, and what I'm going to try and do is just go from edge to edge with the angle best that I can. And then, oh Lord, I had my stamp cleaner here, and then I made 2 more cards and left it over there. And then I'm using the half circle, semicircle shape. Same with the daffodil, and I'm gonna stamp that on my paper. And you see I didn't get the little point. Come back and fill in the point. I didn't get the whole top of the circle, so you can just sort of fill in where you need to. It's not filling in very good. There. Oh, still didn't get it. All right, you get it. You see what I'm trying to do. And then I'm coming in with my Mossy Meadow. Hey, Mom. Hey, Marilyn. Pat. Oh, Patty. Yep, fractured card. And then I'm going to put Sending Good Vibes on here. That's my block. And I think this is where I went crooked on my sample. So let's see if we can go straight. We got Sending Good Vibes. We've got the S and the G from corner to corner or side to side. All right. It is what it is after you make that commitment. All right. So Sending Good Vibes now is going to, you can glue it flat or you can pop it up. And that's what I did. I popped it up in the center. Let me make sure. All my mess up pages are over here from, I left them for scrap in case I needed them. All right, that's enough. We'll put some dimensionals down. And then we're just going to come in here to the center and hopefully center it on there. Oh, it still looks crooked, doesn't it? All right, I'll try and straighten it up, but now we're going to leave it. So that's our first one. So, yeah, I was just looking at the difference because I thinned this one down from here. I still think it looks nice. It looks nice. I like them. So there's the first one. Let me show you the second one. The second one, see, I had to make 2 because, oh, wait a second, I did my envelope. Oh, yes, I did. I pre-did the envelope so I didn't have to keep washing the stamp off. Speaking of washing the stamp off, hang on. I gotta be able to wash my stamp. All right. So this one, I originally wanted to use this rainbow on that first card, and it was too much. It was too busy with all of the different patterns. So we went with a second card, and here's my take of the cloud cover stamp that I got, and it was not a good one. So I'll get to that after. So here's what we're going to make the second round. And we'll start this one, getting some pieces off. I got a piece for my envelope. We want to make sure we get some good glue on that, because we don't want it getting caught up in the mail. Mailman will not like us. If we are creating problems. Those darn stampers, and then we're gonna have to pay more money postage. So I just put that piece of paper down the side for the envelope. I got a piece for the inside, and I have another piece of paper strip, and I'm gonna put the little pink dot side up on the inside. We'll get this off our table. Like that. I'm gonna trim that down. Okay. This card is an 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. We're gonna not mail this. I got mail on my mind. We're gonna glue this to the inside. I create for you guys totally opposite of how I create for myself. Probably because the inside and stuff is the last thing that I'm normally thinking about when I'm creating for myself. And when I do these, I got all the pieces and stuff already cut. So, you don't want to miss something. And you guys know I forget. I say, oh, bye, guys. See you next week. And again, when I'm cleaning up, it's like, oh, geez, Louise, I forgot to do this. And I forgot to do that. So we're going to go patiently, carefully through here. So now we're going to do the same thing on this one. Maybe. I don't have a square for the inside on this kit. So let's grab our. See, this is why my scraps stay over here. I screwed it up, but you know what? When I forget something, I've got my paper. So we need a 2.25 inch square. Doesn't have to be white. I am not going to score on this one like I did the last one. So you guys know she had scored at 3/4, 1/2, and 1/2, and then knew to line her fracture up with those 3 sides. I'm going to eyeball this because, I stink with math and nothing is straight. So might as well just eyeball it. So we're going to go on our layer. And again, your layer doesn't have to match because it's not going to be seen. We're going to have it all covered up. So it could definitely be white. So I'm going to come down what looks like 3/4. I'm going to go in which looks about even and see if I can line those up on that line together. Whoops, now I just moved it down. All right, we're going to say that's going to be okay. That's going to work. All right, now we've got all our little fracture pieces again. And so this one, I went even a little bit smaller. And so these pieces are 1/4 inch. And so we're just going to glue those on. And this time I'll just go like this and see how it works for us. So we're just going to draw the straight line down the card. We're gonna line up the edge with our centerpiece. I don't know, you might even be good enough to not need to put the white piece down to line up with. That would be pretty. Ooh, this one might be just big enough. Let's see. Put it up against there. Oh, look at that. Right to the edge. No snipping required. All right. So we gotta come over. We'll do this one. And the other lady that I watched, she must have done this way, and then this piece was just straight through. So I didn't like that idea. I want to have all the sides have a nice long piece to them. So we'll spot that up against there. Glue that down. We're gonna snip it off. Make sure we got enough glue on there. All right, then we'll come over here. Do one more. We'll glue that on. Has everybody got the heat like we do? We got like, I think it's like 85 still right now. Mike mowed the lawn and then he decided, of course, on the hot days, he decides to do extra things out in the yard. About killed him, but he did it. Moved a whole bunch of railroad ties or whatever you call those things that you, landscaping ties or I don't know what you call them. All right, so now I'm going to glue this on. This is just 1/8 of an inch. Cut it off. And you can make these whatever color you want as well. They don't have to be, they don't have to be the same as the back. It looked kind of cool to have it appear that the like the card was showing through. I really had to zoom in on it to see. I had to kind of figure it out on my own what was going on there till I was able to find her on Facebook and see that she called these strips something. So just, you guys know, not every week is fly by the seat of my pants. Oh, what can I do? A lot of times I do dig and look for fun and interesting designs or folds or whatever that. And this fractured card, like I said, it's an old one. Maybe a year or so ago, it was real popular. And when I just saw this extra step up to it, I just had to make one. And so then again, lucky you guys, you got to see it. All right. So, and you see, hopefully I'm not taking up hour and a half or anything just to show you this. What time is it? Oh, nope, we'll be done pretty quick. All right. So now we've got our card built again. I'm going to also, we're going to build our rainbow while we're here. Get all these pieces out of the way. So I cut out I showed you guys, and I said I cut out the solid rainbow. Now, I don't know if the double-sided sticky would work on this, or if you're just gonna have to be super careful with if you use the green glue so it doesn't seep through. My glue I have here does not dry sticky, so I can be, if you notice, I'm not real careful with my liquid glue because it dries clear and it's not sticky. So So we're just going to stick I got petal pink for the outside. And I saw kind of this idea in the catalog where they, well, it's probably how it's meant to go, but all these pieces make up the rainbow. And that would probably be why there's two of these leafy things, one for each side. Did anybody else get this? Julie may have got it. I don't know if it's one of her card place suite sets that she got, but it's kind of fun. I haven't played with it too much other than for this, but I built all the little rainbows, and doesn't have to be precise. We will run out of room if you leave too much room between them, but hopefully. So I'm just building my rainbow. And then I got there's a couple small ones to come down in here. There's this one and just single. And so if I spaced them a little better, this one would look cuter, but I didn't space them better. So we'll see how it fits in there. I might have to get it right down over the hole and cover the hole up. All right, so now we built our rainbow. So I'll set that aside. Now we'll come back here. On this card, I use this same piece of paper for everything. So where I told you before that she cut it at 2 1/4 and then down at 2, those two went here, and then she had two, this was 3 3/4 left. She cut it at 3, and then they went there, I believe, which seemed like those, anyway. So all I'm going to do is, like you saw me do before, I'm just going to start laying this in here because I just want the color and a little bit of wavy motion going on. So I'm not going to be too exact, and I'm just going to lay it down and cut it. I am going to go, lay it down and cut it. I got some. I got lost in the comments. They weren't showing up. So I don't know what you girls been talking about. Hopefully you haven't been talking bad about me. Okay, so we're gonna cut this off. Again, could use your trimmer. And I want to kind of go around and get different colors to show. So we'll come over here with some of the pinks and blues. This one's a much more willy-nilly than the first one. Oh, we need a keyword too, don't we? Let's do, how about we do, let's do boho or something like that. Not literally type something like that, but boho's good. Let's just do boho. Cut that off. All right, so now let's see where we can maximize our paper. So I got some pink and some, I want to get some. I actually got crazy the other night and cut it so that I could get more. And I just told you guys, don't waste your paper. Let's try and not worry about that, but I am going to cut it because I want to get some more of those other colors in here. So I'm going to cut it right around this spot. So that I can fit that in there. And we got, oh, we don't want that. That's the same color. Oh, you guys. All right, oh, look at how lucky I got there. All right, we're going with this one. We're not going to go with that one because it's not enough. We're going with this one because it pretty much fits. I don't want too much pink in this card, actually, so we're going to stick this one in here. It fits. It's good. And cutting as we go like this, it really opens it up for using the paper better. So let's see, let's come over here with some, I don't like all that rusty color. All right, we're gonna go that way. I think we're probably going every which way but loose with the paper directions, so hopefully you aren't all twitching because I got them all going in different directions. Yeah, I think I got that butted right up against there. We can check that out and see if we can turn it. Let's see. I guess it looks okay this way. So then we're going to take this and run this through an embossing folder. And so this one I didn't use, I mean, I used the whole embossing folder, and I'll show you why I just got confused with my words there in a second. So this one is a texture. It's an old one. I think that's what it's called. Subtle textures. Let me run this. This is a really old Sizzix one. It only runs through with one clear plate. So if you guys remember, if you don't have the new die cut and emboss machine, the new machine, if it says Sizzix on it, they made those for Stampin' Up. That was before we got this new machine. So the sandwich was different. So if you still have any of these, the sandwich is just the base and one clear white plate. Or clear white plate. Yeah, how do you get that, Jill? One clear plate. So again, it's very subtle. Just a little bit of texture in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue that on the front. Glue her down. And I could have, want to get a lot of glue because even though it's a subtle texture, it does stick up. So I want to make sure that it's got enough surface with glue to stick down. Too far. All that good. Give it a hot second to stick. I don't know what I did with my brayer. I like to brayer over them, but I looked for it earlier. But again, if you could see my space over there, how messy it is. Holy cow. Call in the cleaning police. All right, so then now I'm just gonna pop this up in the center. You can glue it flat if you want, but I'm gonna pop it up. If I got enough dimensionals, I'm gonna have to use my big old $1.25 store command strips or something. I don't even know. They're over by the command strips. I don't know if they're picture hanging things or what, but so then I'm just gonna try and eyeball that to center. Isn't that cute? And then I have a strip right here that I'm going to use the hello out of the set. Did I show you all the different? I don't think I did. So there's this big leaf. I use that on the envelope. Half of a moon, maybe. Slice of the moon. Little lines. So there's darling, hello, and thanks, along with sending good vibes. I'm going to use hello. For the outside. And we're going to give my new cloud cover a try. So I saw somebody say that they got theirs and it was bad. And then they ran it underwater and rinsed it out. So I did that yesterday. I rinsed out the old and then I haven't re-inked it very well, but then she re-inked it and like did a test right away and then waited a few days and did another stamp of it. And she thought that the color didn't change after she rinsed out, like whatever chemical reaction happens with the pad had already happened with the original ink in it. So she cleaned it out and the new ink didn't seem to alter. So we're going to go with, I re-inked it and then I'm going to have to try it again in a couple days. But so I just want hello. Oops. Doesn't look like it. I tried to dry it off real good too. It just felt dry, but I don't think that it worked for me. I think it's still gonna be the wrong color. And you know what? I gotta do that over here because the other side of this is not it's got track marks on it. So we're just gonna cut this down. And pop it up on the front. And I kind of thought, I didn't know if I wanted it a little closer to the rainbow, but I didn't. I put it down at the bottom. Oh, hey, here's a whole nother stack of dimensionals. Huh. Look at there. Look at what you find when you move the stuff out of the way. So I'm going to stick this down here at the bottom. Hello. Like that. Then we're going to bring out our sending good vibes again in our newly created cloud cover ink pad. I thought it was worth a try, you know. And then I'm going to do sending good vibes. Not very, like you don't really see it very well. It's juicing up in the O's, but you don't really see it on the rest of the stamp to even think that it's inked up, but I guess it is. And you can definitely see, I'll probably keep it anyway, but you can definitely see it almost looks like a, look at the D, almost looks like a gray granite coming through, but it's still kind of a pretty color. And so that is this card, number 2. And again, it's my stepped up with the different colors there and then running it through the embossing folder. Really gives it a fun look. But I also want to show you real quick. I did 2 other cards because this lady had some really pretty looking, they weren't Stampin' Up. I don't even know who she was using, but she had a black and white one that I thought was so pretty. And if you look real close, you could see this one I embossed with words, and I should have just used texture, and I wanted to deboss it, and who knew, unless you were thinking clearly, when you deboss words, they go backwards. So everything, Mike's like, oh, words, what's that say? Well, honey, we can't read it. It's backwards. And so I just liked the texture, but I just thought that that was really cool to do it with black and white. And I made these papers. So it was the same thing. I just cut a hunk out and then I stamped with different stamps and then laid them in there and cut them out like I did with these other ones. So that was just black ink, the Memento ink on white paper. And I just brought this to show you that I just made my own background paper there. And then I made a second one with our black and white paper that goes with, oh, I didn't even look at the name of it. It goes with one of the stamp sets that we got. It might be the textured. It was one of the online exclusives, I think. I can't remember the name of it. I apologize, but it was the whole pack is black and white. So I just cut some of those patterns out and I ran it through again the word emboss, and I did put it upright this time. And you could put a little sentiment on here, like a little tiny thanks or hello or something. I just left them blank. This one I kind of carried that fractured look over to the inside. And this one I just put a strip of the paper that I created down on the bottom on the inside. But I just wanted to show you because I made them because I really liked the black and white look. I wanted to give them a try, and so I thought I'd show you that, you know, it's another option for something to do. So those we didn't make, but this one we made tonight, and blink, this one. So that's our cards for tonight. Our boho botanical something. Yes, yes, Vesta. Thank you. The keyword for the drawing is boho, and not boohoo, but boho. Those of us that don't get one might want to say boohoo, but boho. So that's it, you guys. Thank you very much for watching, commenting, sharing, being my friend. Love you guys, and I will be back again. Good night. But now you gotta wait while I go back to where I gotta go and cut down. It already looks like it's cut down. And video. Good night.